know you're somewhere.
Hi Aries, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. Today, Aries, you guys got Beast Spirit, sweet results await with the 7. I feel like you're trying to get to your star here. You could have Aquarius in your chart. I feel like we also have Scorpio here with the Tower, but I feel like you're trying to get to the star. And there's a lot in front of it, if you see what I'm saying. Like, there's the Tower and there's the mountain. So I feel like there's something here blocking you from the star. And for me, it kind of feels like there's something that you have to realize. There's something that has to, like, it could be just something like in your subconscious that you already know, but you just don't want to accept, right? Like, that could just be one of the things. Another thing I'm getting with this is, like, the quicker the Tower comes for you, the faster you can get to your star. So some of you guys are holding back on something. For example, like, let's just say you really want like a certain job, right? But the reality is, like, let's just say like you really want to be a nurse, right? But you're like afraid of blood, right? I think like the quicker you can just come to the realization that like you're afraid of blood, like you get queasy when you see blood, you don't like to see blood, that's going to lead you quicker to the reality of what your star is. Like, maybe your star isn't being a nurse. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe your star is something different. But like the Tower is something, it's a truth that you can't deny, right? And it's something the divine is going to bring to you. And it might shatter, like, again, like finding out that you suck at like drawing blood, or like you hate seeing blood, or that you're afraid of needles or whatever. It's not going to be a great realization, right? Like, you might have to change your career. You might have to change your plans. But I'm getting that, like, the reason that this is all happening is for you, not against you. So let's just say, like, again, you can't become a nurse. It's actually better for you. Like, the divine has another plan for you. And again, it might mean that you go into a different field, and that field is something that, like, you know, you find much more enjoyable than being a nurse. Or the lifestyle that you live might be a lot better because you're not a nurse, you're doing something different. So I'm just getting here, like, they're trying to lead you to the star. And the reality here is, like, you might have to have this Tower moment. You know what I mean? And the Tower moment, I don't think is going to be comfortable. I'm going to be honest. It's not going to be comfortable. It could be some sort of surprise to you. But the reality here, Aries, is like, the faster you can get to this surprise, the faster you can get to your star. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's actually not a bad thing that the Tower is here. It's actually not a bad thing that, like, whatever this realization is, because in reality, it's going to bring you to the right path. Do you know what I'm saying? So it might take you off one path and put you on another, but that's actually a really good thing because it's going to be more suited to you, right, Aries? So that's what I'm getting. Let's pull more. So Aries, it's so interesting how this is like turning into a love read, because we end here with the Ace of Cups and the Empress, right? And I feel like, Aries, you're the Emperor, right? It's like, regardless of gender, you're the Emperor, and you have the Mother coming up here, which is the Empress. So you have a true pair out here, Emperor, Empress, and you're coming up as this King of Water. I think that's the block in a sense. Part of the block, I feel like, for you, Aries, is like accepting what you feel for this person, accepting that you have a lot of feelings for this person in the first place, right? The reality here is that I think you have been trying to push this person away. You've been trying to keep this person at a distance. You've been trying to say that this is not your star. You've been trying to say, like, this person is not anything to me. And I think that's what the Tower here is, saying to yourself, you know what, like, I do care about this person. I think that's the truth. Like, the truth here is the Tower. I feel like a lot of you guys just don't want to see the truth. You don't want to accept the truth. You don't want things to happen the way that they're meant to happen. It's like, you know, when you fall for someone, you date them, and then you get into a higher level commitment, and then, you know, whatever happens after that happens. But at the end of the day, like, once you realize you have feelings for somebody, you take that next step in a relationship. And I feel like there's someone here that's like, I don't want to have feelings for this person, or saying to themselves, I do not have feelings for this person. I do not love this person. I do not care for this person. And then I feel like someone has to take a look in the mirror and say like, wait a second, yes, I do. Wait a second, I do have feelings for this person. I can't just let this person go. I can't just say that this person and me didn't have a beautiful connection. Like, what am I doing here? It's like, allow for the flow to happen. Stop hurting yourself here. Because again, someone here is just hurting themselves. And I feel like it's this masculine energy. It's this King of Cups energy. It's the Aries here who they don't want to accept how they feel, so they're just like pushing their feelings away. And I feel like I get that a lot for Aries, like trying to like say like, I don't feel like that. No, it's not true. The funny thing here is like we have a lot of cup energy here. We have cup and sword energy here, so it's like a battle between the mind and the emotions here. But I feel like the star is this Empress with the Ace of Cups, like starting new with this person, starting in truth with this person. The truth is that I feel like you have so much love for them. You're coming up as a King of Cups. And if that's only something that you could admit to yourself, then you could have your star. But again, you have to have that realization, which is the Tower. And I feel like, again, I kept feeling like it was subconscious. Like you had the answer already, but you just didn't want it to appear. It's like, I know that it's like if you want to be a nurse and you cannot, in your head, in your mind, you're ignoring the fact that like blood makes you very queasy. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you can't be a nurse if you don't like blood. Like I'm not, I'm sure there are nurses who don't necessarily like blood, but that's the first thing that came into my mind. Like if you're a nurse and you hate blood, like it wouldn't necessarily be the easiest career path for you, right? Because you're gonna be working with blood for a while, right? So yeah, that's what I'm getting with this read. I want to clarify and I want to pull more, but I just feel like it's this masculine who, the Tower here has to be their realization of like what I feel for this person. The fact that I feel like this person, I feel like this masculine loves this feminine, like deep, like not even deep down, just they love this feminine, like to an extent where they're coming up as a King of Cups. You don't come up as a King of Cups unless you have like deep love for somebody. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's obvious that this person has deep love for this feminine. We can find out why they're blocking it, but I feel like it's more of a fear. Like I don't, it's not convenient to me. It's like if you want to be a nurse, right? And you're afraid of blood. Let's just keep going with that example. But like if you want to be a nurse and you're afraid of blood, it's going to be very inconvenient for you, right? Like you'd have to change your career and that's inconvenient. So I kind of feel like that's kind of the thing here. It's inconvenient. It's not part of the plan. That's kind of how I feel like this masculine is handling this. Which, again, it kind of sucks, like an inconvenience. I mean, I think love is inconvenient. It really is, but it just is what it is. You fall for someone, you fall for someone. There's nothing you can do. It's so weird because if you see what they're saying with the cards, they're saying like, if you were to allow for this Tower to fall, and I feel like the Tower is just your not wanting for things to be different, like the Tower is basically you falling, right? So you saying to yourself, I feel like that's just you falling in love, like falling for this person, just going with the flow, allowing for this love, exactly, the bottom card, receptivity, allowing for this to just happen and flow the way that it's supposed to happen, right? If you were to allow that, they're saying you would have so much harmony in your life. You would have so much abundance in your life. You would have such good energy with this person. Like, I feel like this would be a success, this relationship. But we have here what's going on. And I told you, I feel like this is a mind thing, right? Like it's mind versus emotions. And there's guilt here with exhaustion. Over this lover, over this person. And it doesn't have to be that way, Aries. It doesn't have to be that way. So if you're Aries here, I just want you to know, like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like sometimes you're being rerouted because you're going towards your highest good. And the divine is like, oh, we have to put them on a different path for them to get to like it's reminding me of a Mario. You know when like you want to get a star in that game, it's like collecting stars and you get rerouted, and sometimes you get rerouted onto like a faster path to the star. That's what I'm getting here. Like you're getting rerouted to a faster path to your star, basically, to your person. Or you've been rerouted to align with them and to go into their, like, I feel like the two of you for some reason are flowing together, but you are noticing that and you're like, holy shit, no, I'm running away. Like I don't want to be aligned to this person. I don't want to change my plans. Like someone here is being very stubborn And instead of just receiving what the divine's giving them, they're, like, we have clinging to the past. So something could have happened between these two. Something could have happened to this person in the past with the Child's card here. But yeah, someone here is just not allowing for the rerouting to take place. They're not allowing for the Tower to take place. They're not allowing for that energy to happen. So they're kind of stuck here. And they're on their own path here, but it's not the path that the divine tried to put them on. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're getting further and further away from the Empress. That's what I'm getting. So they're saying here, like, Aries has a choice here. With the Two of Wands, this is you planning for something. This is you preparing for something. Again, we keep going with this, like, idea of a plan. This idea of what I have in mind versus what's actually taking place. So again, I think this person did not plan to fall in love. This Aries did not plan to, like, have all these emotions for this feminine. They didn't plan it. But the reality here is, like, you come up as a King of Cups again. It's just funny here. It's actually funny at this point. It's like you cannot plan for love, but you fell for this person. Like, you just did, and there's nothing you can do about it now. And I think somebody here, they went from being a Knight of Wands to, you know, this is somebody who, like, does whatever they want. They don't have any regard for, like, what anybody else feels or does. This is all, like, this is my, you know, this is my plan. This is my route. I do whatever the hell I want to do at all times. I feel like I'm single. I can, like, talk to this person if I want to talk to them. I can not talk to this person if I don't want to talk to them. The Knight of Wands is free, right? So maybe there's this idea of, like, once you're in a relationship, you're going to feel constricted. And maybe that's the feeling here, that, like, this person is going to constrict my life and they're going to make my life very different from what I want it to be. Maybe that's another problem here. Like, somebody's afraid of, like, because we talk a lot about plans, right? So maybe this masculine has this very big plan for their life and they just don't see how this person could fit into their plans. But I'm getting here, this person is a gift and this person is part of, like, the divine put them there for a reason. And you did have this sense of freedom, but I don't feel like your freedom is going to go away with the Knight of Cups. I feel like your freedom is just evolving into something different. Like, your life is going to evolve into something different. It doesn't necessarily mean that you won't be free. I don't think this person necessarily feels... I don't even think this person... Again, Knight of Wands could mean, like, someone's a player. Like, it could mean that. But I'm getting with this masculine, like, it's not even about the girls. It's not even about, like, the women or the men, whatever. It's not about being able to have anybody. It's about the freedom that you can choose to have anybody whenever you felt like it in the past, right? It's the idea of, like, you being free to do whatever you wanted to do. And I think someone doesn't like that idea. So I feel like this masculine has a lot, whoever this masculine is, it's a lot about plans. It's a lot about what's a part of my plan. And it's a lot about freedom. And I think that's where this person freaks out. The idea that they don't have that freedom, the idea that they won't have, like, they'll have a constriction now and their life is going to change. And I don't think that's what's going to happen here, like, at all. But I actually think that's how this masculine perceives them being in a relationship with this person. Like, they perceive love to be that's how they think their life's going to change. Like, they think their life is going to be full of these constrictions, and it's not going to be that. So I feel like they're actually feeling guilty because maybe they haven't been communicating to this feminine with guilt here and exhaustion. I feel like I think it's actually harder to stay away from this feminine, to be honest, than to just go towards them. Because again, they're blocking the energy, right? It takes a lot of energy to block energy, right? To go onto the path is much easier, but to block it, which is what this masculine's doing with the mountain, takes a lot of energy. They're exhausted. They feel guilty. And then with clinging to the past, I feel like they're clinging to, like, their plan. This is my plan. This is what I wanted to happen. I don't think this feminine's going to change anything in terms of, like, a plan. Like, if you had a plan for a career, you had a plan for your life, I think this person's just making it better. I just pictured someone sewing with, like, I don't know how to explain this, but I've never gotten, like, a vision like that before or whatever. But I just pictured somebody sewing, like, a sheet, like a cloth, like, with white thread. And then the feminine came along and now the thread is made of gold. Like, instead of it just being this white thread that you're sewing with, you're sewing now with the white thread and a gold thread. And that's making it not only more valuable, but like stronger. Like it makes the sheet or the cloth much stronger. And that's all I'm getting. Like the sheet does not change. I mean, I guess it does change to an extent because now you're adding gold to it. And I guess the color might change a little bit, right? In reality, like that's what's happening to the sheet. But the actual structure of the sheet, like the actual shape of it and the design of it, yeah, it might change a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's like still a sheet. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like somebody's plans are just going to get better. Like someone's plans are just going to be more beautiful. Like I think a white sheet is beautiful, but if you added a gold thread to it, you can maybe design it a little differently, right? You can maybe do a little bit more with it. You could sell it for a higher, price if you were selling it, right? Because it has gold in it. So it's like, I don't think the plan will change in terms of like if you want to make a sheet, you're going to make a sheet. But I think at the end of the day, like what it's made out of makes it more valuable. And I think that's exactly what they're trying to say about your life, Aries. Like this person's only going to add more value to your life. And even though they weren't a part of the plan, and I don't think you're going to lose your freedom. Like I think that's like someone's like biggest thing. Like I'm going to lose my freedom. You're not. I don't think you are at all. Like if this bee is coming up, right, that sweet results await, right? And beautiful things await your life with this person added to it. Again, and I get that idea of gold being added to your life. Then how, like, I just don't think that freedom is like something that you're going to lose here because, everybody, to be happy, you have to be free. So I feel like there's no way they're going to say that your life's going to be happy, but you're going to be like a slave, or you're going to be, like condemned to like, some sort of life that you don't want, and you're not going to feel free in your life. Like, I just don't get that at all. So whoever's worried about freedom, that's not a thing. Yeah, like, I definitely feel like maybe if you were always, in an open relationship, it will be very different for you, right? Being in a relationship with one person. But the funny thing about this whole thing is, like, I don't think the King of Cups wants to be with multiple people. Like, if the King of Cups is wanting to be with this Empress, you can see how possessive he is of this, like, pearl here. He doesn't want anyone to touch the pearl. So it's not like this King of Cups is, like, wanting to be possessive over anybody but this Empress. And that's what's funny to me. It's like, maybe you're just freaking out because, again, the idea of freedom is being lost. But the reality is, like, the King of Cups doesn't want anybody else. And maybe that's a shift in this masculine that's also weird. Like, the fact that they don't want anybody else. They don't need anybody else. And with this feminine, they actually feel like they have everything coming their way with them. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's funny because everything that this masculine's afraid of is just not true. You know what I mean? It's not true at all. So let's pull a little bit on the intuition, because their intuition is telling them, obviously, something. And then we'll pull some advice for you. But this is a really beautiful read because I feel like it's all the things that people, not all the things, but a lot of people are afraid when they get into a relationship that their life is going to change. Like, I can definitely see how this masculine feels, and I could definitely see, like, how their life is changing because, again, it's just like day and night in a sense. Knight of Wands is like, I do it as I please, and I go out and about, and I don't have to call somebody and tell them where I am. I can just go travel when I want to travel. I can just go be with this person tomorrow and then, never see them again if I wanted to. And there is a freedom in that, I guess. But the reality is, like, a King of Cups doesn't want anybody else. So I feel like somebody here is afraid. Maybe they're afraid of the future, like they'll want somebody else one day, but King of Cups is not like that, to be honest. The King of Cups is like, when I want, I protect for the rest of my life, and I don't need anybody else. So I do see, like, somebody here making a plan. Let's see if the masculine is making some sort of plan, and then let's pull in their intuition. So yeah, I feel like what's happening right now is this masculine is in the stages of letting go of a lot of things. So they're letting go of the devil, which I like, because the devil is just fear. Them holding on to fear. Like, again, this person's going to constrict me. This person's not going to let me live my life. This person's not going to let me be myself. This person's going to change. They might leave me alone. I'm going to let's just say this person's afraid that they'll devote themselves to this Empress, and then the Empress will disappear. Like, again, those are fears that they're letting go of with the devil in reverse. What else is happening? The moon in reverse. They're letting go of confusion. They're letting go of the idea. I don't know what necessarily they've been confused about. Maybe just confused about where they should be headed. But again, if you understand energy, you know that you're supposed to just go with the flow, right? And it actually isn't that confusing, right? Like paths open up and paths close up for us. And it's kind of like that nurse thing. Like, you go in and you find out that you cannot deal with like seeing a body on the table. And then you're just like, you know what? Or I'm afraid of blood. I just can't be a nurse. You know what I mean? And you let it go. Like, again, it's just like the path closed up for me. That's it. Some paths open, some paths closed. That's it. And I feel like that's something else that's happening for them. And with Four of Wands in reverse, I think it's that idea of like letting go of the idea that they might not want to be in a commitment with someone. Maybe letting go of the idea that like marriage is scary, our commitments are scary, soulmates are scary, like all these like ideas that are, not necessarily true. I feel like that's something else they're letting go of. That idea of like, maybe the idea like they want to be single for the rest of their life. They want to be this player for the rest of their life. I think that's something else that they have to let go of in order to like proceed forward, So with intuition, we have judgment with intuition. And I like that a lot because it says that this person is going to start seeing the right path and start seeing the way and start getting the guidance that the divine has been sending them this whole time. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is really good. I think they're going to start to see this feminine the right way. Knight of Wands in the regular deck is somebody just kind of waiting but persevering at the same time. Again, they call it the wounded warrior, but again, this could be someone who's wounded and has some sort of, again, issue with commitment, an issue with moving into a real relationship. But at the end of the day, look at the person that they're looking at. Queen of Cups, they're coming up as a true pair. King and Queen of Cups, Queen of Coins. This person could have Libra in their chart, Earth in their chart, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or water in their chart, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But again, this is somebody that I feel like they know, these opportunities with this type of person. I think this person's smart enough to know like this doesn't come around a lot. So I like here at the bottom of the deck, we have letting go we have transformation with letting go and the Fool. Because that's exactly what this masculine needs to do. They have to let go and allow this transformation to take place in their life and then just go off as the Fool. Like allow things to just start and things to happen. And I think they're going to find that, again, just like I was getting with the thread, like instead of threading a blanket with just a white thread, they're going to be threading now with gold. And I think it's only going to make their lives better. It's only going to make things more valuable. It's only going to make things more, like a little different, right? Like the design might be different, but at the same time, it's just going to be better. That's what I'm getting. So let's pull some advice for Aries. So I really like the cards that you guys got, Aries, because you have Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. What's interesting about Saint Bridget is that she was born a slave. And because of her generosity, she was set free. Because of like her inner being so generous, like a king saw how generous she was and how light she was inside and within. And they let her free because of that. And she has like this really big inner wealth, I guess you could say, that allowed her to be seen for what she really is, and then she was set free. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening here. Like there's this idea that you're gonna lose your freedom, but in reality I feel like you're gonna actually truly be set free. And I don't even get how that like would work here. But I think this Knight of Wands could just be some sort of like disguise. You know what I mean? It's like it's easy to. I think this is a masculine who really loves like deep connections in reality, right? Like who actually loves very deeply, but it's easier to be in this facade. It's easier to be the Knight of Wands, right? When you want to be free and when you want to, let's just say like you meet a lot of women or you meet a lot of men, but you know, like when you know you've met the right person, you know you've met the right person. But until then, it's a lot easier to be like this, right? And for people to think you're like a player, and for people to think that you're like not serious, because if people actually saw like you were such a giving King of Cups, they might want to take advantage of you. You know what I mean? And they might actually want, or you know, a real relationship with you, or they might want to stick to you. So I feel like this masculine actually hides themselves a little bit as this Knight of Wands. I don't think they're actually like a player, to be honest. I think that's just something they might have gotten accustomed to because like maybe they haven't been meeting the right types of people. And yeah, I feel like the actual inner wealth of this masculine is deep. But I don't think they want people to see that. I don't think this masculine wants people to see them as this King of Cups because they can get taken advantage of. So I feel like they allow a lot of people to see the Knight of Wands. So I feel like it's actually, this masculine could be trying to protect themselves also with this feminine. And it's like, I don't want this feminine to necessarily know that I'm like in love with them and know that I care for them deeply, because if they knew that, they might take advantage of me. So I feel like that's another aspect of fear that this masculine has of this feminine. And again, I get that. Again, like you don't want people to know. I get why this masculine does what they do. But at the end of the day, I feel like St. Bridget is all about actually setting yourself free. And when you set yourself free, it's actually being, you can only be set free when you're actually truly being yourself. So I feel like this is going to allow the masculine to drop this facade that they're this Knight of Wands, that they're this player, that they're like love being non-committal, that they love being, you know, the type of person that's like in and out of everybody's lives. When in reality, I feel like this masculine actually does love being with someone and being close to someone and being very, you know, like I feel like a carpet. Again, I keep getting weaves. Like I keep seeing like thread, like you know, tapestries. That's what I keep seeing. Tapestries, like, or those beautiful rugs that they make in like the Middle East. I keep getting these like tapestries, like the fact that this masculine and feminine's lives are meant to be interwoven and interlocked together, like they're supposed to be. And I think that's how this masculine would prefer it at the end of the day. But again, there's a lot of fear. But again, they are letting that go. They are letting that go. But yeah, I keep seeing tapestries. I keep seeing rugs. I keep seeing like sheets. I don't know. It's odd. But yeah, that's what I keep getting with this masculine. So now let's look at your archetype. You guys have the Starborn. And I think this is, again, talking about this masculine's idea that their life is not meant to be necessarily like everyone else's. Like they have big plans for their life. They have big ideas and they don't want to live like an ordinary lifestyle. Maybe they don't live very, you know, conventional, right? They're not a conventional lifestyle. So I feel like this masculine might feel, again, like this person might take them off their track. But I think what's actually very interesting here is this duality within this masculine, because I think as much as this masculine has this idea of wanting all these beautiful things for their life and wanting, you know, their sense of purpose is very big, and they're like, it says here, they're aiming towards a future that is beyond the mundane, right? So this is that part of themselves. There is this other part of this masculine that wants something different as well. So it's kind of like there is this duality within this masculine. And right now I feel like this is the side that the masculine's not so comfortable with. But I don't think love means that your life will be mundane. I feel like that's like a misconception here. So yeah, it says practice seeing your life from a mythic point of view rather than a series of logistics. Read the story of the three fates and envision yourself born under the stars with a unique destiny. This card is all about aligning, trusting, and aiming. It says when this card appears, don't be surprised if you receive a surge of desire for a long lost dream, one that you haven't visited since childhood. Let this desire shake you up. Yeah, exactly. I feel like this feminine has awoken something in this masculine, and it would be so easy for them to just continue on their path and pretend like this feminine doesn't exist and pretend like this feminine didn't awaken something within them that longs for something different, that longs for something maybe that they haven't wanted in a while or they haven't dreamed of in a while. So again, I feel like this is a really big read for somebody. I feel like this is a really big change for somebody's life. And I think these two will be connected. Again, I think it just takes this masculine understanding that what's happening within them, don't block the energy that's happening. Don't block this King of Cups. Don't block what you're feeling, because in reality, what you're feeling is going to lead to everything that you've wanted in life. And you can have it both. You can have it all. I actually do think this person can have it all, because I feel like this is the right feminine. So that's what I'm getting. I love you, Aries. I hope this helps. And I'll see you next time. Bye.